everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, the first and only time I rode in an armored vehicle was in 2009. I spent a month in Iraq doing comedy shows for the troops there. Mostly we flew to our shows in helicopters, but this time we were going from Camp Liberty to Camp Victory. And these both camps were both in bases were both in Baghdad, just a couple of miles away from each other, so it wouldn't have made any sense to spend that kind of money on a helicopter. So, since they were such a short distance from each other. So instead of taking helicopters, we drove in a small convoy accompanied by Navy SEALs. We were taken to the gate where they were waiting for us. First we took some pictures with the guys, and then they loaded their weapons, and we got into what looked like a regular, everyday SUV. But when I went to pull the door shut, it didn't move, because the armor made the door so heavy that a regular pull just wouldn't work. So the SEALs got a good laugh at that, watching me struggle trying to close the door. I was able to close the door, but it took a lot of effort. We drove along what was then considered to be the most dangerous highway in the world. And the SEALs pointed out the sights of Baghdad and also told me a little bit about the vehicle I was driving in, including the bulletproof glass and flat tires. What brought this memory back to me was an article that I read that stated that there was a booming demand for armored vehicles. A lot of regions around the world are enjoying rapid economic growth. People are getting rich in areas where there still is a lot of poverty, and it's understandable that they feel the need to protect themselves. So they are investing in armored vehicles with bulletproof windows and run-flat tires. Sometimes they're manufactured from scratch. Sometimes they'll take a vehicle and just strip it down and rebuild it with the armor. Most of the time the vehicles are low-key, since the owners don't want to draw attention to themselves and provoke an attack. But in some places, an armored vehicle is considered a status symbol. And these folks do want to attract attention, so the cars are fitted with blaring lights, sirens, bullhorns. In Bogota, Colombia, for example, an armored vehicle can operate according to the same rules as a police car when it has its lights and sirens going. And according to the law, the police cannot enter or search an armored vehicle without obtaining a special warrant. Nice to be rich, huh? But in most places, the wealthy want to avoid that kind of attention. So they might take like a $40,000 Ford Taurus and have $100,000 worth of armor added to it. The bulletproof windows are 1 to 2 inches thick and made from plastic polymer and leaded glass. And these vehicles also include safety features like the run-flat tires, an escape hatch through the trunk, and what are called crumple zone bumpers, which allow the car to drive through barricades without damaging the radiator or engine, so they can keep going. These cars can be very pricey. The lowest price is $150,000, and they run to over $1 million, with an average being around $450,000. And they're heavy. Matter of fact, the doors on these vehicles have to have extra hinges to support just that weight. And these vehicles are armored all over, so fully armoring a vehicle will add about 2,500 pounds to the weight that it already is. Some manufacturers actually give the buyers training in operating the vehicle because it's hard to maneuver, takes a long time to stop because it's so heavy, and so there's a trade-off because sometimes you need to get away from someplace quickly, but having all that extra weight slows the vehicle down. And they also need a lot of maintenance. The car's suspension has to be reinforced to carry all the weight, and they frequently have to repair or replace brakes, transmissions, and the engine because the weight creates more strain. So once you buy the vehicle, you're still going to be spending a lot of money on it. But what the hell? If you own a vehicle like that, you're rich. And the protection is definitely worth the money. Thanks for listening. Well, I want to thank you all for watching my videos. But there are certain changes that Google has made to YouTube, which, since I'm a smaller channel, means that I can't monetize my videos. So I found places where I can. So instead of watching my videos here on YouTube, I'd appreciate it if you go either to Patreon or to Top Buzz. They let me monetize videos, and I don't even have to put commercials on. So, if you want to become a patron on Patreon, that's fine. If you don't, you can still watch the videos there. I've just kind of given up on YouTube. YouTube is just a place that I use so that I can put my videos in other places. So, Patreon, Top Buzz, the links are in the description box. Thanks a lot.